It started as nothing. Just a routine, a walk I took every night after work. Headphones on, mind off, trying to quiet the noise inside my head. And every night, I passed the same house, a small brick one, with ivy curling up the sides, and a single warm light glowing behind a half-drawn curtain. That's where I saw her. An old woman, sitting by the window with a cup of tea in her hands. Always alone. Always still. At first, I didn't think much of it. But night after night, I started expecting her. Like a silent friend waiting for me to walk by. She became part of my evenings. And though we never spoke, never waved, I somehow felt like she knew I was there, and that my presence mattered, even if just a little. Winter came. The air turned sharp and quiet. I'd pass her window and see the faint fog of her breath against the glass. Sometimes she'd rest her hand there, like she was reaching out to touch the night. And maybe that's when I started worrying about her, a stranger I'd never even met. One night, the rain was pouring so hard I almost stayed home. But something inside me whispered, "Go." So I grabbed my umbrella and went. When I reached her house, I looked up. And froze. Her light was off. For the first time in months, her window was dark. Something about that emptiness hit me harder than I expected. It was like the street itself had lost its heartbeat. I slowed down. Waited a moment. Then told myself, she's fine. Maybe she just went to bed early. But that night, I couldn't sleep. The next evening, still no light. The one after that, same. By the third night, my chest felt heavy. I didn't even realize how much I'd started caring about her until she was gone. Finally, I couldn't take it. I walked up to her porch and knocked. No answer. I knocked again. Louder this time. Still nothing. And then I heard it, faint, weak, from somewhere inside. Help. My heart dropped. I pushed the door open and rushed in. She was lying on the floor near the kitchen, pale, trembling, her breathing shallow. She had fallen 2 days ago and couldn't reach the phone. I called 911, held her hand until the ambulance came. And for the first time, she opened her eyes and looked straight at me. "You're the one who walks by every night," she whispered. I nodded, tears filling my eyes. She smiled softly and said, "I always hoped you'd stop one day." After that night, I started visiting her. Her name was Margaret Wilson. She was 82. She'd lived in that house for nearly 50 years. Lost her husband 10 years ago. Her son lived across the country and rarely called. At first, she was shy, said she didn't want to be a burden. But slowly, she warmed up. Every evening after work, I'd bring her groceries, or sit with her for tea. She'd tell me stories, about her husband who used to sing Sinatra while fixing the car. About her little garden that once had sunflowers taller than her. And how she still kept his watch on the nightstand, ticking, even after all these years. I started calling her Maggie. She called me the boy from the window. Over time, she became like family. Sometimes, I'd find her dozing off in her chair by the window. And I'd quietly pull the blanket over her shoulders. Sometimes, she'd wait up for me, light on, 2 cups of tea ready. One for her, one for me. And in those quiet moments, when the world outside was cold and distant, her little house felt like home. One evening, she asked, "Why do you always walk so late?" I laughed and told her the truth. I used to feel invisible. The world moves so fast. I think I just wanted to be noticed. She looked at me, her eyes soft but knowing. "Maybe that's why I looked back," she said. "Because I knew what it felt like to be unseen." Weeks turned into months. Her health improved, her laugh grew louder, and the house, once quiet and lonely, began to feel alive again. Then one day, she told me she was moving. Her niece in Seattle had invited her to live there. She'd have company, care, and family nearby. I was happy for her. But when the day came, it hit me harder than I'd thought. That last night, she sat by the window again, just like old times. I walked past one final time. But this time, she didn't just look back. She waved. And smiled. And that smile. I'll never forget it. Now, months later, her house is quiet again. But every night, when I pass by that same window, I still slow down. Because in that reflection, I can almost see her. Sitting there, cup in hand, the faint glow of the lamp behind her, smiling. And it reminds me of something she once said. Kindness doesn't always have to be loud, dear. Sometimes it's just showing up. So, I still take that walk every night. Because you never know who might be watching from a window. Hoping that someone, someday, will stop, and care. Glowing star moral. In a world where everyone is rushing somewhere, be the one who slows down. The one who notices, who listens, who cares. Because sometimes, just noticing someone is the kindest thing you'll ever do.